Let's look at the various forms of sender and receiver device. Input-output device, or what we call the thin client, used only for sending or receiving information, and it has no processing power. A smart terminal actually performs certain processing tasks, but is not a full-featured computer. This device can also be used in a lot of factory floors and assembly lines to be able to collect data and transmit it to the main computer system. Intelligent terminal, or what we call the personal computer, by using this, a remote computer can perform certain processing tasks without the main computer support. Also, what we have notebook computers, which is the low-cost disk-like computer used to connect to the internet or the LAN network. Notebook computers, they run software off servers and save data to the servers. By using the iPad and tablet devices, the use of the notebooks are being reduced. Microcomputers, mainframes, and supercomputers, these process data and send it to other devices, or receive data that has been processed elsewhere, process it, and then transmit it to the other devices. And finally, a smartphone and mobile phones and PDAs, and also game consoles. Smartphones they have an advanced capability such as email and web browsing, and most of them have a built-in keyboard or external USB keyboard. Video game console is another electronic device that can be used to play games and receive instruction from a game player, and also produces a video display signal on a monitor as well. The second component of the communication system is a modem. Modem is a device that connects user to the internet. Not all the internet connection requires modem. Wireless users, they can connect via access point, or satellite users, they can use the satellite dish. However, there are still some people who are using dial-up, or also the DSL, which stands for Digital Subscriber Line, which is a high-speed service that uses the phone line. Also, in the United States, we have cable, which also uses the same cable that we connect the TV in, and we can use that for internet connections as well. Let's look at the communication media. Communication media, or channels, connect sender and receiver devices. They can be conducted or radiated. We have conducted media, or another word, wired media, and then we have the wireless or radiated media. Conducted media provides a physical path along with signals that are being transmitted, including twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, and fiber optic cables. In terms of wireless, we have the radio frequency signal, light wave radio frequency signal, which is using the infrared. Also, in terms of the radio frequency signal, we have the cellular, we have the microwave, satellite, broadcast, and the spread spectrum. In terms of process configuration, we have three types of process configuration. One of them is called centralized, decentralized, and as well as distributed. So what's the centralized processing? Centralized processing can be done at one central location. That means it can be done in a way that there are some advantages, such as you can take control of one system and be able to take control of the other processes as well. And also, in early days, they were using the central processing because the data processing personnel were in short supplies, and hardware and software were expensive, so they would just have it in one centralized location. There are other disadvantages is the lack of responsiveness to users' need. Maybe because it's not accessible, they cannot actually use it. So the users cannot get the things that they want. Decentralized processing means that each user, department, or division has its own computer for performing the processing task. There are some advantages because, again, it's responsive to the user, so user can use it at any time. Some of the disadvantages is that lack of coordination among organizational units. Also, there is a high cost of having many different systems, and sometimes it is duplication of the effort. Distributed processing, which maintains centralized control and decentralized operation, has a lot of advantages. One of them is accessing unused processing power wherever is possible. Computer power can be added or removed. Distance and location are not limited. More compatible with organizational growth. Fault tolerance is also being improved, and resources can be shared or reduce costs. A lot of organizations nowadays are using distributed processing. There is also a disadvantage to distributed processing, of course, because there are going to be more security and privacy challenges. Also, incompatibility between various pieces of equipment, and managing this type of network is also challenging. Next thing that we are going to look at is the OSI model. Maybe many of you are familiar with this type of model. The OSI model stands for Open Systems Interconnections Model, which is a 7-layer. The architecture is defined based on 7 layers, and it is talking about how data is being transmitted from one computer to another computer network. Also from the physical connections to the network to the application that the user can run it. It also standardizes the interaction between network computers that are trying to exchange information. So let's look at the different layers in this type of architecture. First layer is application layer, or where the applications are sitting. This serves as a window through which application access network devices. It performs different tasks such as maybe email or file transfer, and some tasks that are actually supporting the user. The second one is called presentation layer. The presentation layer formats the message packets. The third part is called session layer, which establishes a communication session between computers. Fourth layer is being called transport layer, which is actually generate the receiver's address and making sure that the data has the integrity that it needs to. The other layer is called network layer, which routes the messages. And then the sixth layer is called data link, which oversees the establishment and control of the communication link. And the last layer, which is being called physical layer, which specifies the electrical connections between the computers and the transmission medium. It defines the physical medium that can be used for the communication. So this layer is primarily concerned with transmitting binary data, or basically bits, over the communication network. Now here we will talk about types of networks. There are 3 major types of network: local area network, wide area network, and metropolitan area network. In all of these networks, computers are usually connected to the network via a network interface card, or they call it a NIC. NIC is a hardware component that actually let the computers to communicate over a network. Sometimes we call that adapter card as well. And it's a physical link between a network and the workstation.